This Hangout is live. Hello and welcome to the Blogging Bunch Hangout. Today, I'm sorry I'm a little late, but we're here and we're ready to go. Today we're going to talk about Twitter and all the fun stuff you can find there. My name is Sarah, and Sarah, Carrie, and Elizabeth and I are the Blogging Bunch. And hopefully you know you've been in our Facebook group, and which is over 800 people now, and we also have a blog, thebloggingBunch.com, and I blog at Play to Learn with Sarah, and a parenting blog, family resources, crafts, kids activities, fun things like that. Here.
I'm Carrie, and I blog at Carrie L, and I blog about parenting and moms and all that fun stuff. And you can find me on Twitter at Carrie L Blog. At Carrie L Blog.
And I'm Elizabeth, and I blog at rockabyeparents.com, and I blog about parenting, single parenting, Disney, kids, family life, all that good stuff. And my Twitter is at rockabyeparents.
Woohoo! All right, at Play to Learn Sarah, I think I forgot that. We also have at Blogging Bunch. I need to do a better job about keeping up with that one, but we are on there and all over. So I have a list of 20 tips for Twitter, and we usually try to keep it to 20 minutes. Not sure we're going to get all this. We might have to do a Twitter part 2, but that'll be a good way for you guys to post questions and let us know what is working, what isn't working, and what you're still struggling with. So Twitter kind of switched their profile, and now it looks a lot more like another social media network that you might use also. So you want to make sure that you have a big profile image that shows your blog, represents you and who you are, and then you also have a little icon for just your profile that shows up next to your tweets, and try and make sure that that's you. You want to brand yourself and whatever you've branded your blog. I look like my words and my actions are not matched up.
You're matched up here.
Okay. Might just be here. It's hard to stare at yourself and not.
Yeah.
So the Twitter profile, make sure that you don't just have the egg. Please don't have the egg, because most of the time I'll go through, and if you haven't followed me back and you have the egg, I'm probably, or if you followed me and you have the egg, I'm probably not even going to follow you back, because I don't think that you've taken the time to even change your profile, so I don't, what's the point in even following you back? So make sure that you take the time to update your profile. Big image across the top. Oh, I should have looked up what that size is. You can Google that, or I'll put it in the thing in a little bit. But make sure you have the image. Make sure you have a small image of yourself so that you've tweeted yourself.
And when you set up your profile now, and this may be one of the tips you have to talk about, but you can pin a tweet to the top of your page now. So you can pin your best tweet. So like I have a tweet with a great picture that, it's not a sponsored post, it's a great post and I love it. And so I pinned that to the top of my profile. So if you go to my Twitter profile, you'll see that tweet, and people that go to my Twitter profile will often retweet it.
Yay. Yes, so you can repin, or you can pin one tweet to the top now, kind of like in our Facebook group, we have something pinned to the top. You can pin something to the top of your Twitter profile. All right, let's see. I had these. I just kind of like threw them all out. So I want to make sure that I kind of. Let's see. So create your profile. You want to make sure if you want to build your profile, you want to build your Twitter account. And I know that when we started this year and a half or 2 years ago, I had no idea how to work Twitter at all. But I signed up for it because it gives you live updates, and there was a fire down the street from our house, and I wanted to know what was going on. So I didn't even start the Twitter account because of my blog, and then I kind of switched it up. But you want to make sure that you're building your account. I say if you want to make sure that you're building your account, go through and follow at least 10 people a day, and try to stick with people that that don't have eggs for their profile, but that are active on Twitter, and that you can go at the top and if you're a parenting blogger, type in hashtag parenting and see who comes up there. Go through lots of times. I'll let go of my secret here. Lots of times I'll go through Carrie and Elizabeth's followers and follow those people, because I know that those people like what they tweet, and I tend to tweet what they tweet too, so those people will probably follow me back. And so if there's someone in your niche, you can follow some of their followers also, and work on building your following list that way. It does take some time to build that up, but it is definitely worthwhile. Twitter is going to help you connect with other bloggers and with other brands. And I know it may seem confusing and overwhelming at first, but I promise it will be worth your time. I make it
profiles for a second.
Yeah.
One thing about profiles: make sure that you link to your blog, obviously, but link to your homepage. So, or I'm sorry, not your homepage. Link to your About Me page, so that when someone goes to your Twitter profile and they want to check out learn more about you, when they click on that, it doesn't go to your blog's homepage, because who knows what your most recent post is, right? Sometimes it's not that great. You might not want someone to see that. That might not be your best work. So send them to your About Me, and that way if a brand goes to your Twitter profile and they go to check you out, they go to your About Me page.
Or Start Here page. I have a
Start Here, yeah.
On my site that says, you know, this blog is about, these are the things that you'll find on here. So any one of that's a great tip. Anything like that. I need to check mine. I don't know where mine goes.
And if you change your page, if you change your About Me page, or like one time I changed the permalink for my About Me to make it say Dallas Mom Blogger instead of About Me. So then when I forgot to update that in Twitter. So my Twitter was like sending people to nowhere, and so that's worse than sending it to, you know, a bad blog post.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's see. Following people. Make sure that you're following people. Sign up for justunfollow.com and give people a week or so to follow you back. But I go through, and if they've unfollowed me, I unfollow them. Twitter is a lot more cutthroat, I think, in that way, and it's expected that you will follow people back, and not the people that say, you know, like if their profile says, you know, gain Twitter followers for this much, you know, whatever, I can get you 1,000 Twitter followers. Don't worry about them. Don't
follow them.
No. But you know, other people that are in your niche, and once you start, people will start recognizing you and looking. You'll be coming up in their in their searches, and if you're engaging and using Twitter, then they will come up. And honestly, I don't use Twitter as much as I should, or as much as I know Carrie does. I don't know how much you use it, Elizabeth. I mean, I use it, but not, yeah. But I still have a ton of followers, at least for me. I mean, for a mid-sized blogger. Or small blogger, I don't know. But anyway, so make sure that you are following people back and staying within your niche. And go through once a day. It doesn't take much time. Every other day, and follow people back. Go through your Just Unfollow. Unfollow people that aren't following you. It's a free account. You can unfollow or follow like 25 people from that account. You don't really... I think Carrie tried the paid account for a little bit. Do you still have it?
No, I got rid of it. The paid account was like $10 a month or something, and you could have unlimited, you know, you could go and you could follow or unfollow a bunch of people. So I would go to Sarah's, I could go to Sarah's account or Elizabeth's account, and I could pull up all the people that they followed and all the people that followed them. And then, like Sarah was saying, I could just go through and follow. But Twitter limits it. I don't know what the number is, but they limit that. So Just Unfollow would let me follow or unfollow as many people as I wanted, but Twitter doesn't like that, and they can put you in Twitter jail where you can't have your account. So for me, I don't keep up with it a whole lot. So the free account has been perfectly fine, and you can also link that to your Instagram account too. So, and multiple Twitter accounts, and that's all with the free account, so that you can keep up with who's following you, who's not following you. And it's not about, I try not to take it personally, and Sarah and Elizabeth know I do. Take it personally when people unfollow me, especially on Instagram. But with Twitter, it's like, there's a lot of noise on Twitter, I think, and so if I'm following 4,000 people, I don't want to be following, 1,000 of those people if they're not going to follow me back, just because it's just noise. I don't necessarily want to clutter up my feed. So, and I think Sarah's going to talk about lists and stuff too, but that's kind of the main reason why I unfollow people, right? I mean, would you guys agree? It's just too much.
It gets to be
A jerk. It's just too much.
I can't follow the whole feed thing. I barely even.
Yeah, I don't either often either.
So yes, we will talk about that. All right, search your niche. Be engaging. Posting. You get 140 characters, right? You want to make sure unless you're replying to somebody, don't start with an @CarrieL blog. Don't, because Twitter will see that as a reply and won't show that to people. To as many people in their feed. So make sure that you're not starting with an @.
I think it might be the same for hashtags or something might have, I don't know.
Hashtags are okay. I think it's just the @ sign, because it'll just show it to the person that is going to.
Right. So don't start with an @. Make sure that you I try not to start with a hashtag. I think what they've said is maybe like up to 3 hashtags in a tweet makes it the most kind of searchable, and that's what you're trying to make it searchable. So that if somebody types in printable, your tweet is going to come up and they can go to your link. Or back to school, they can go to there. So you can see where my brain is right now. And then, there are, like with Facebook, there are suggestions about how many times you should be posting a day. Oh no, she's still up there. And it's anywhere between 5 and 30 times a day. So it really, again, it depends on your traffic. It depends on your audience. It depends on, you can watch the worst beagle in the whole wide world now steal stuff. I live in a zoo, and everybody gets to see it once a week. You can anyway check when people are responding, when you're finding people respond to you. So what I tend to do, or what I would suggest, is 5 tweets a day, and again, you can set those up in Hootsuite. You can set them up in TweetDeck. I'll post a link. Carrie did a post on thebloggingbench.com about how to set up tweets in TweetDeck. Sorry. You can. I've started using CoScheduler. You can put them in there. I also have my Facebook, my blog Facebook page, and my profile linked to Twitter. So anytime I post on those, it posts on Twitter also. Which people say that's a no-no, but at least it gets me onto Twitter, and I do get some responses on there that I don't get on Facebook, or so trying to hit them all. Anyway, so 5 times, if you do 5 times a day, 1 is your content, the other 4 are not. The other 4 are from other people that you're promoting that you think your followers would want to see. You're going to gain more followers and you're going to help people. So what I do is, if I see something on Facebook that I like, I'll click on the link, go over there, follow that person on Twitter, find their handle, and if you can share it, then and it shows up with their handle, then share it that way. But or if I want to schedule it, then I'll put it on tomorrow, and I'll tag that person so that they know that I've posted their link. And then that starts to kind of build a relationship with them. Also, they'll write back thank you or favorite it or something like that. So if I continue to do that every week, they're going to notice who I am and start to see, hey, she's sharing my stuff on a regular basis. That's really cool. So that's a good way to, again, build connections with other bloggers through Twitter. Very simple, very easy. I've used Facebook and Pinterest to get content for Twitter. And I mix them all together. If I'm on Twitter and I see something that I like, then I'll use it on Facebook, or I'll pin it. So make sure that you're using all 3 of them together to build your content.
And Twitter's unique in that I think Twitter's really about relationships, right? You're tweeting to help other people to share their content. You're talking to other people because you feel like engaging with them for some reason, or you're just having a conversation with them. And so I was going somewhere with that, and I just totally lost it. but I seriously don't remember what I was going to say. It was really good, too.
Five posts will also try and hit all time zones. So, like, sometime between 7 and 9, sometime between 11 and 1, you know, like, you're hitting all the time zones, too.
Okay, I remember what I was going to say. So, because of that, because you're trying to develop relationships with people on Twitter, and I'm not talking, like, deep, meaningful relationships, but just, you know, you share each other's content, right? That's what it's for. And make sure that on your blog, your sharing buttons have your Twitter handle on them. So when I go to share something from Sarah's blog, it says, when I hit the share button, the tweet button, the name of the post comes up, and then it says, you know, via @PlayToLearnSarah. So I'm sharing it, and she knows I'm sharing it. Because sometimes if I go there to share someone's stuff and it just comes up with like a random link and it doesn't say where it's coming from, I won't share it. And it's not because I don't want to be a jerk, but it's because the whole point of Twitter is to build those relationships and say, look, I'm sharing your stuff. This person is great. Follow this person. You know, you want people to be able to do that. And when someone goes to your site and they share your stuff, you want to know about it too. So I always think, why don't people have their name there? Because then they don't know when people are sharing their stuff, right? You won't know if you're not getting tagged on it, and you'll get tagged if someone shares your stuff and your Twitter handle is in your in the tweet. So be sure to set that up. Please set that up.
You want to know if somebody's talking about you.
Right.
Be authentic, right? Provide value. Make sure that you would follow you. Are you going to follow? You know, the content that you're putting up there is something that you would want to follow, and that so other people are going to want to follow too. Connect with brands, you can do that too. Many businesses are using Twitter, or many people and businesses are using Twitter as kind of a customer service. And so I know I've had a problem or something, and I've tweeted the person and said, hey, your site's not working, or I can't get access to it. And so he wrote back and he was like, hey, you know, okay, well, send a help ticket. And, you know, it kind of goes back and forth. And I know that a lot of people, when HostGator goes down, I go through and I look to see, I go to Twitter first. Okay, have they posted anything? Do I need to put in a ticket? Is this going to come back up in a minute? So using brands are really using Twitter, so make sure that you are connecting with brands there too. And don't have automated messages. Don't send a message that says, thanks for following me. Follow me on Facebook.
Don't have it.
People are going to unfollow you for that.
No, I'd never read it.
I don't ever read them, no. I don't like it. I've heard other bloggers even say, if you send me an automated message, I will unfollow you. Because it just clogs up your message box on Twitter, and nobody likes it. So please don't do that. Please do use pictures and video. Please include those. Definitely, those work on Twitter these days, and it's a great way to break up a feed and get yours noticed.
Especially for a brand, especially if you're working for a brand, put a picture in there of the product. They love that, and it makes you're more likely to have people click on it and look at it if you have a picture.
And also, so at the bottom of Twitter, right, you can hit reply, you can hit retweet, you can hit favorite, and many of us use favorite to say, like, I saw this, or thanks a lot, right, instead of retweeting.
Kind of like a thumbs up on Facebook.
Yeah, like a thumbs up on Facebook. But I was just reading an article that said that now Twitter has a favorites tab, and so anything that you favorite kind of gets into this other stream, so that might not be the best use of favorites these days. Although that's how many of us are using it, we might want to start rethinking how we're using favorites. So, just something to think about, be aware of. You can use a link shortener, like your link's way too long, use a link shortener, bit.ly, and use that to do it. All right. Twitter parties, Twitter chats, Twitter parties. We haven't had any, but we should definitely do that. They are crazy to follow. They're crazy to keep up with, but I think you need the experience at least once to just, and I think that post, does that post, Carrie, on how to use TweetDeck go into how to use it?
I don't think I talked about it for Twitter parties.
Okay. Well, you just, you put in, you can follow the person that's hosting it, and so you just follow them. So anytime that they're tagged, it comes up, and then they usually have a hashtag. So you have a stream that just follows that, and then you have a stream that's anytime you're mentioned, so you can kind of keep track, and it kind of cuts out the clutter of Twitter so that you don't have to just monitor your full stream. You can also just search that hashtag. It just doesn't kind of update. The updating, it's hard to kind of stay. Twitter's going so fast, and somebody's posting something, and you just don't want to have to keep updating. I did win last year. I won a ticket to a blogging conference through a Twitter party, so it definitely is worth your time to do Twitter parties. No more.
Yeah, fun. They can be fun.
They can be fun. Okay, and make sure that you're engaging. People are commenting. People, comment back if you see something that's cool, or retweet something, or just try to be engaging and try to use it. Just get in there. My whole motto is just do it. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's nobody. There is a Twitter jail, but nobody's gonna put you in jail if you write the wrong tweet. If you do the wrong tweet or something. And tweets are live for what? Maybe I think they say 18 minutes. So people are gonna forget really fast if you made a mistake, and just try again. Just get in there and just do it. And so the last thing I wanted to talk about, gosh, we did that. We kind of added them all together, crossing them off here, was lists. And lists are a way to cut through the clutter a little bit. You can, if you click the more, you can create a list, and you can just use like a hashtag. You want to follow these, or you want to follow certain people. Like I have Carrie and Elizabeth in one list, just my tribe, and so I want to just know what they are tweeting about, and not go through the whole entire list, or the whole entire feed. So I just can check that list and see what they're doing. Or I think, and there are lists that are public that are already created, and you can just join those also. That are, I think I have one about writers, or one about parenting, and you can just, supposedly, I tried to get this so that I could show you yesterday, but it wouldn't tried to figure it out yesterday so I could show you today, but it wouldn't do it. But you can just add people, and you can click the little gears icon, and then it says add them to a list, and you're supposed to be able to check it, but it wouldn't check for me yesterday to get people to add it to the list. So
we should do a Blogging Bunch Twitter list.
Right, I was thinking about that, like doing one on the Blogging Bunch. I'll create a list for Twitter.
And that's a good way to get interaction, right? If you interact with other Blogging Bunch bloggers, and then that way, we could kind of support each other easier.
Right.
It's real hard to keep track of where everybody's from and what they're doing, and some people have multiple Twitter accounts, or it's hard. So it'd be good to have like one list, right? We could find everybody and support each other and know that we're supporting our group. So we'll set that up.
We'll get a Twitter list going, and then we'll put it in Facebook, in the Facebook group, and tell you to join our Twitter list. See, it all works together, and then we'll hit it too.
Right.
What time? Oh my gosh.
I know. We've been talking a lot.
I know.
We're fast talk. We got a lot. Talked about a lot too, but I feel like there's still so much more with Twitter that we could keep talking.
We do have a question. Do you want to address it, Sarah? Or do you want us to write an answer later?
No, tell me. I was just going to say, have you been monitoring the page? Do you know what's going on?
I have. So they want to know, how effective are hashtags?
Oh, I love hashtags.
I use hashtags for my link party, but I don't think anyone is looking up to help cross-promote.
What is the hashtag for? What was the question again?
Link party.
I use a hashtag for my link party, but I don't think anyone is looking it up to help cross-promote. Well, it depends. It depends on how popular it is, right? So a hashtag parenting is going to be much more popular than
my parenting pointers. Right. What's for my party?
Parenting pointers, right? So nobody's going to...
Because that's my link party, so, you know, it's
not going to come up because nobody's going to know about it. So you just continue to do it, you know, and it again, with everything else, it takes time to build it up, and hopefully people will. You have a way to promote it. You can embed tweets. I need to start doing this, but like in a post, you can pull out a quote and then put it into embed a tweet, and so they can just click tweet this from your post, and so that just sends it automatically. I like that. I think that's cool.
I think too, if you're doing a linky party, I think it's good to hashtag link party or linky party, because people will do that to go find the party.
Right.
So you're going to get more traffic that way.
So put in your own hashtag. So let's say you're doing parenting pointers, and then hashtag linky party. Use multiple hashtags. You can also, you know, put it somewhere in your post or on your graphic that you have for your linky party, just to kind of raise awareness. But you know, they take time, and we did in May. We did the hashtag Book a Day in May, and you know, people will retweet it or they won't. You don't really know, I guess. But the best thing you can do, I think, is add other hashtags to it. Put it in lots of different places, not just on Twitter, so people see it and get more familiar with it.
Yeah, I like that. Hashtag whatever your party is, hashtag link party, and that might help get a little more exposure for you. Definitely. But no more than 3, please. And let's see, what else? I love hashtags. I think hashtags are hysterical, and I like the funnier, the better. I have a friend, well, my sister, a girl that I grew up with, and she has the strangest hashtags, and they're just like a stream of consciousness, and I think they're hysterical.
I know, I love good hashtags. And then hashtags on Twitter, they mix, right? Like hashtags on Facebook don't do so well. Hashtags on Facebook are for being funny or, you know, making your point. They're not for people to search. But hashtags on Twitter, they serve a little bit more of a purpose because they're searchable hashtags. People are looking for your hashtags. You know, hashtags on Pinterest, I use them sometimes, but sometimes I think they're annoying on Pinterest. You know, so each social media hashtags rule on Twitter. That's kind of like where they're from and what they're for. So use them.
Google Plus is a good hashtag one too, because that helps Google know, because they'll look at that to connect with your post for search engines later. That's a good one. That's more of a tell literally what your post is.
Yeah, they're real literal, right? On Google, on Twitter, you can be kind of funny or whatever, but use hashtags wisely because they can really.
And use a big hashtag, you know, like a highly searchable, well-known hashtag, also so that you can get, you know, hashtag Beagle, right? If I'm gonna have something about the worst dog in the world, hashtag Beagle. So then it gets, you know, with a picture of her standing on the table.
He doesn't look like the worst dog. I see her over there. She's all sweet and quiet.
I know, she's laying down, being all good.
Worst dog in the world.
No, I have the worst dog.
I had a Beagle. They really do get into stuff.
Beagles are awful.
Love my Beagle.
Carrie, your dog's half Beagle, isn't it?
Yeah, a Beagle and Border Collie. He's awful.
Anyway, okay, and hashtag
The hound.
Hashtag awful dog.
hashtag off topic. I think hashtags are cute.
They're great.
Anyway, I hope that we have helped, and hopefully we managed to get through all of our points, and we're a little over our 20 minutes, but we hashtag had fun.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week. Who knows what we'll come up with to talk about next week, but hopefully it will be helpful, and check us out on the Facebook. Find our group on the Blogging Bunch on Facebook, and thebloggingBunch.com is our blog where you can get lots and lots and lots of tips. So have a good day.
Bye.